Hey there, good morning, Mel High School. This is Dr. Foster coming to you on Wednesday, March 10th. As I promised a couple weeks ago, we will begin to send weekly updates to families in regards to reopening and return to in-person instruction during the month of March. So very happy to bring you the second edition of these updates. Second week of March, time flies, and continue to have lots of information to share for you. So I have a couple bigger things today instead of a bunch of small updates, but a couple of big updates to share. So first and foremost, before I dive in, I just want to let you guys know everything that was shared last week will be at the bottom of this update. So you can find everything from last week and this week in one place. So let me get started. The first thing that I'm sharing with you is a resource for families, students, parents, grandparents, guardians, aunts, uncles, whomever, community members, where you can find everything reopening in one place. We will tell you that this is 95% complete. The good news is what I'm sharing with you now, you will be able to keep and bookmark and save, and it will update exactly where you have it. You won't need a new copy, an updated copy. But it is the Male High School Family Reopening Plan. So if you click right below that image here in this gray banner, it will take you to that reopening plan. So bear with me just for a second, and it looks like this. And I know my screen looks a little different because I'm recording right now, but it will look a little cleaner on your screen. So you can see right down the right-hand side of that image, you see a number of tabs. You see arrival. First of all, you see a letter about coming back to school. Then you see it will take you to a tab section about arrival and dismissal. So obviously in the life of a school, there's much to consider in regards to arriving in school in the morning and when we release in the afternoon. So you can see a number of links in regards to morning arrival and afternoon dismissal. Anything that you see in red, so right now you see student dismissal from classroom, that is still a work in progress. So once that link is added, again, you don't have to have a new copy of this, an updated version. It will update here for you. Next, we get to breakfast and lunch. Many of our students eat both breakfast and lunch at school. So obviously, logistically, those are things we have to be very intentional about. So you can see our breakfast plan is complete. It's finished. Our lunch schedule is not complete because we're still finalizing our number, exactly how many students will be in the building. And so we'll get that wrapped up in the next week or so. Next, we get into expectations. Lots of good information right here to share. All things health. So there's been much discussed during the board update meetings in regards to health and different things like that. So tons of links here. Why social distance, about wearing a mask, contact tracing, a mask waiver form, key times to wash hands, quarantine versus isolation. Guys, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I can just be honest and realistic with you. That will happen once we reopen. So the difference between quarantine and isolation is important to know. Student well-being, some great resources right there. A tab exclusively for Jefferson County Public Schools frequently asked questions. So lots of good things right here. Everything from meal pickup to PPE and social distancing, special education information, riding the bus. I could keep going, but again, lots of good information right there. And then finally, Male High School frequently asked questions. And you'll see the first one is about the dress code. And I'm not going to skip that. I'll come back to that one. But a number of other questions that have come from the burning question link we shared with you guys last week. So we have looked at each of those questions. We've been taking those very seriously. And so a lot of good information to share right there. Important numbers. So obviously you're going to need to get a hold of folks. You can see folks in our counseling office, our assistant principal office, athletic office, and health services. General cleaning questions. We've had a lot of questions in regards to how will the building be clean and sanitized. So you can see those questions there specific to Male High School, not just generically across the district. So that is everything that we have in there right now. Again, that is a perfect resource to bookmark, maybe bookmark on your personal device, your cell phone. And again, this link will be updated. You won't need a new copy, an updated copy. There are some things we know that we still are yet to add to that. So let me come back to the thing that I said that I would revisit. Frequently asked question, burning question number one, hands down, bold print, underlined. What about the dress code? So I will tell you, our site-based decision-making council did meet yesterday afternoon. We had a great discussion about our dress code and the remainder of the school year. Obviously, we are a traditional school, and increased expectations is a part of who we are. It's a part of what our families and students desire. This is a unique time, and it's a short period of time. So we have had a number of folks reach out, and we understand. Right now, number one, many of the things that our students that traditionally would wear to school within the guidelines of our dress code aren't available right now. Those things traditionally are available in late summer for back to school purchasing. Also, we have students that, to be honest, didn't purchase things because it was not certain if we would come back to school. So our site-based council was very responsive to that, very understanding of that. And we looked at some things in consideration of what could we do for the remainder of this year. So please know what I'm about to share with you is only for the remainder of this year. When we come back to school next fall, the male dress code will go back to the way it is written here in black, not red. And we'll make that very clear before we come back to school. So as I go into this, what we've done is we took our current dress code as it was written and approved for 2021. Anything that you see in red is a waiver that will be in place for the remainder of the school year when students come back to school on April 5th through the end of the last day of school. Right now, that's slated to be May 27th. So first and foremost, we have information about mask. Mask must be without graphics or words. Patterns may not be inappropriate or bear any profanity. Finally, any male spirit wear mask can be worn to school. An example, I was at a swim meet a couple of Sundays ago and noticed that our swim team have very cool male swim masks. Those are completely appropriate to wear to school. So when we say graphics or words, that would be non-male high school graphics or words. In regards to electronic devices, this is in our dress code. We will get this fixed for next year. But at the end of the day, we will be sending guidance for students to bring their own device, and that will come from the IT3 department. So we simply noted that in our dress code. More information to come on that. So next, we get into shirts from the waist up. So keep in mind, our shirt dress code is still in place. What we waived for the remainder of the year, students can wear anything that's in our dress code, the way it's written right now, or they can wear any solid color t-shirt, long sleeve shirt, crew neck sweatshirt, or hoodie. Okay. It may not have a logo. It cannot have any print pattern. It has to be solid color. Lastly, for slacks, again, as it reads there in black, all of those things are still in play and still appropriate. But in red, what was waived for the remainder of the year is students may wear denim slacks each day of the week as long as the slacks have no holes. Now, does that mean the little tears and slits? Yes, holes, period. Okay. And then finally, we did have a piece added to our dress code back in the summer when it looked like you could wear a bandana as a mask for COVID-19. That has since changed. So we didn't take it out. We highlighted it and noted that per CDC guidelines, bandanas are not appropriate face coverings and will not be permitted upon return to school. So the dress code changes are pretty minimal, but they're very clear. If you have any questions, reach out. Be happy to get those taken care of and get those answered for you. Lastly, we have continued to ask families and students to make sure we know what your choice is come April 5th. Do you plan to come back in person or virtual? That is very important for us. Parents, this is big. Lots of questions about this. Next week, we're going to share information about a virtual town hall event, which will take place on Facebook Live the week before spring break. And we do plan an opportunity for ninth grade students to be able to visit campus. We're also planning to do that the week before spring break. So stay tuned. We'll get you that information next week. Hope you're having an awesome week. I will end right here. From this point below is the reopening update number 1 from last week. So all information is still there. Everything above that is new this week. Hope you're having an awesome week. Take care of yourself. Spring break is right around the corner. Hope you've been able to get outside, enjoy this awesome weather. Take care, stay well, have a good week.